Roll call this meeting back to order. Over Wayne. Food chair.
Food chair.
Put me in the hot box?
Yeah, hot box.
That's right.
Pull the mic tight to your mouth.
All right. So we just have basically about 17 questions to ask you, and then answer the best you can. And then when we're finished, then you'll have a chance to ask us any questions if you have any concerns or clarifications or anything like that. Also, this is being recorded. This is just like a regular meeting, so just so you know. So I guess we'll start with state your name and where you're from.
Dwayne Scher, Moffett, North Dakota.
Well, it's your address, but you live in Emmons County.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, as long as clarifying, there's probably people watching on live, so. Okay, so we will start with questions. So, first question is, please start by telling us a little about your background and more specifically what interests you in being on the board and what encouraged you to apply.
Okay. The question was what?
Yeah, just your background, what interests you in being on the board and what encouraged you to apply.
Okay. I've been a native of Emmons County for my whole life. I'm a taxpayer like everyone else. I have 4 grown children, and all of whom have real estate in Emmons County. They've all graduated. I feel that I can devote more time to doing this type of job because I've turned some of the land over to my son-in-law, and I can try to better serve the people of Emmons County.
Okay. It's important for all members of the county commission to be present at all meetings in order to maintain efficiency in conducting the county business. Is there anything that would prevent you from regularly attending meetings on time? How do you define the role of a county commissioner?
Okay. They're to represent their district that they are in. There's a lot of challenges being a county commissioner. You have to be open-minded about lots of things. You have to keep your cool when people call you. You have a lot on your plate. You have the road maintenance, you've got the personal issues that come about, you've got the courthouse employees and everyone else involved.
Okay. What do you see as the biggest challenges facing Emmons County? And if you could change one thing, what would it be?
Well, at the moment, I wouldn't probably, there's things that you could probably change, but you're not the sole person to make that decision.
Okay. Well, if you could just change one thing, if you could just change it, what would you change?
Well, these are personal things, but like you guys had to deal with the wind towers, the pipeline. Those are all heated issues that need to be addressed, but, you don't have that jurisdiction, like, I'm gonna just use the pipe, that CO2 pipeline that's gone through, you know? But, and as you would go, everything's a learning experience. I've been on boards before, and it takes months to learn the ropes of everything.
How much experience do you have serving on boards of directors, management committees, or other governing boards?
I've been on the Senate board for probably 12 years prior. Church board, but that's immaterial for what this job would involve.
Board's a board. They all kind of function the same. Any experience is still experience, so. Okay. How will you make yourself available to constituents, and how important is it for a commissioner to be available?
Very important, because there's always someone overlooking what everyone else is doing. Okay, what was the question again?
Main thing was just how would you make yourself available?
Okay. I suppose nowadays everybody's got their little cell phone, but I guess if people have a complaint, they can call and you can answer them the best you can. And if not, you just kind of got to go with the flow and see what comes about of it.
Do you have any special projects, programs, or emphasis that you would like to pursue as a commissioner?
Not at the moment, because temporarily this is just an appointed position.
Okay. What policy and procedure topics would you be most interested in exploring if you were appointed county commissioner? Like just how basically anything's done in the county, whether it's sheriff's department, road department, the commissioners, the treasurers. Is there any specific place where you'd be curious to see how it runs, or anything any more than the others?
Not really, until you learn the basics of what needs to be done, because I'm sure any new person that come walking in here had to learn a lot. I'm not one that is to shadow the road maintenance supervisor unless there is a problem, because that's what they're appointed for, and if there's a problem, they can come to the board. Same way with the other county employees that work. You wouldn't just walk in there and shadow them all the time.
Okay. In a time of increasing costs and decreased federal and state funding, how could the county save or get the most for their money?
That's the question that everybody gets uptight about, because a budget's a budget, and you only have so much to work with, just like my business or anyone else's.
Is the current county zoning regulations and permitting processes doing enough to assure the public interest, or are they too onerous?
I think they're doing the best they can. Like you say, there's so many rules and regulations to follow nowadays that it can be quite complicated.
Is there a certain part of county government that would receive more attention if you were appointed? If so, explain your answer.
I probably couldn't say at the moment without seeing the budget or knowing about the budget.
Okay. Do you have a basic understanding of mill levies and how the county uses mills to generate the county budget?
Every time I pay taxes and whatever, I've asked, but I've never done the math to really figure it out.
Well, don't feel bad, because like we all joke around, it's not a very easy process, so it's what is your understanding of how our various local Emmons County public safety agencies, such as Sheriff's Office, Fire Departments, and Ambulance Services, serve the county? How do they operate, and how are they currently funded?
Well, they're somewhat funded through the county, but as far as I know, we have a very good sheriff's department, fire departments, first responders, and that's really important to have in a county that's readily available, because you never know when and who will need it.
Have you, a family member, or a business partner signed a contract or accepted money from Summit Carbon Solutions?
No.
Okay. Okay, and then last one, so if someone approached you as a county commissioner and asked for a personal favor from the county, how would you respond?
I would say it can't be done without the approval of the whole commissioners, because I'm not one to believe that someone can sweet talk you into doing stuff.
Then the last question is, would you view yourself as more of a district commissioner or an entire county commissioner?
Entire county, but what's a district mean? What do you mean by the district?
Well, like you live in District 1, you know,
Right.
and so that's where, I mean, the question is more, are you going to be more concerned with just your district or the entire county?
Well, the entire county, although you would represent your district.
It's not a trick question or nothing, it's just kind of. So, that's a good answer. Do you have any questions for us? Concerns, clarifications, anything like that?
No, did you guys come up with some of these, or did someone else?
Well, we've gotten some from some other counties, and
Ooh.
a couple of them came from us, so yeah, some of them are.
I could, if I'd had a little time to do a little research or homework, I could have answered them maybe more
Well, that was the whole point.
specific.
You're always a teacher, you know you don't get the answers before the test.
You're right.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess we don't have any more questions for you, so if you're done, then you're free to go.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thanks, Glenn, appreciate you coming in.
Yep.
Okay, well, with that is the end of the interviews for the District 1 County Commissioner position, so, I guess if you want to review any of your notes or any of the other stuff, then, otherwise it's open for discussion, and I guess I will open the floor for nominations.
Well, I'll just throw a suggestion out there, would be that each took a piece of paper and write down our top 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, and then get a tally of that to see where we fit. Is that fair way to give it, or?
Yeah, I don't know, I guess in my opinion, do any of you have someone in mind already? Because if you do, I guess I would suggest that we treat it just like when we do chairman or vice chair and just make nominations, and if there's more than one, then I suppose we would probably do just a paper ballot or something like we do the other way. You know, I'll just make a comment, it's not gonna be easy, we have great candidates, I don't know if there was really a wrong answer in any of it, but the main thing to just remind you is we're just appointing someone to fulfill that unexpired term. I mean, for me personally, it's nothing against any one individual. I think everybody was great. In fact, we had 6 people to interview. It was awesome. I mean, it was great. It's not like there was only just 1 or 2, and so it's like, well, no matter what you do, you maybe run into a good group, diverse group, everything from backgrounds, ages, everything. So it was good. I mean, so I guess I would just, if it was me, if you got somebody that stuck out, I would just make a nomination, or, you know, I mean, unless you want a little more time to deliberate or something like that, I don't think anybody really should get offended if we pick one name over the other. I think it was a fair process, and, you know what, we're in August now, so come January, it'll be petition time, so basically in about 4 months, anybody that's interested can jump right back in, so.
Would you like us to leave?
What's that?
Would you like us to leave?
It's an open meeting. The only reason we didn't want people in was so you didn't have the questions, you know. We didn't want Elaine cheating, you know, so.
Yeah, we thought it'd be easier without the candidates and we,
Tell you what, it's gonna be on YouTube and everything else. I mean, we're all in the open here. I mean, me personally, I appreciate everybody that applied. I think it was great. I think he went out and got names, and it was a good open process, and I think it was fair. I don't think anybody can really say they were treated unfairly, and we're 4 months away from a petition process, so it's not like I mean, if you don't get it this time, you got a little exposure and you wanna run for the spot, I'm hoping to see 3, 4, 5 names in the primary. I think that would be good for that position, so.
Other people speaking.
Right, and that's what I mean, we're not, I mean, even if we make the wrong decision, whatever that would be, which I doubt, it's not like it's forever, the people will decide if the guys we picked or the guy we picked is the one they wanted, or if we made a mistake, I guess, or whatever, right?
I'll make a nomination for Craig Miller.
Okay. So we have a nomination for Craig Miller. We don't need any seconds for a nomination, we're just building a list of names, so we do have a nomination for Craig Miller. Are there any other nominations?
I want to throw Scott Baumiller.
We have a nomination for Scott Baumiller. Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations?
So those would be the only 2 in the hat then?
As of now, those are the only 2 names that are nominated, so. Call one last time for nominations.
Robbie Johnner.
So we have 3 names nominated. So we have Craig Miller, Scott Baumiller, and Rocky Johnner. Are there any other nominations? Not hearing any, I'd say the nominations cease, and I suppose we'll go to a paper ballot. Now the question, in my opinion, you need to have a majority. You'd have to get at least 3 votes out of this to win, so. My suggestion is that we vote, pick
That's why we
the 2 lowest vote getters, and
Right.
then, and we just keep voting until we get.
It could be, yeah, you vote for the top 2, and see what you got, yeah. But yeah, each one puts one.
Yeah, well, I guess we could do that, from this rate, you can vote for your top 2, and
Top
take
two.
the top 2 and then vote again.
Right, see, because if each one puts 3, you're gonna be in vote, yeah.
So let's just do a couple rounds of voting, so now we can get to it, because I don't think having 2 votes on this one gets somebody spots, now I think we should have at least 3. So,
So you got number 1, 2, and 3 in there. Right?
Yep.
Here.
So we're ready.
well, you could just write 2 names, I guess.
Yeah, 2 names.
Only municipalities.
Right.
So write 2 names, write 2 names. Right, okay.
So,
Top 2 vote getters will go through them, we'll vote for one out of the top 2. Battle Royale until we get at least 3 votes.
so Craig and Rocky. Each get a vote, right?
Okay.
Craig, Scott. Craig, Rocky. Scott, and Craig. So you had Craig with 4, Scott and Randy each at 2.
Soon we have tied it for the second place spot. Maybe this wasn't the best picture. Okay, so Craig makes it through and we will vote on the other two. To see who gets the second spot. It's the only fair way to do it.
It's the only fair way.
We just keep doing it right. That's why we,
So now what do you?
so now you gotta vote between Rocky and Scott for the second spot. Because you might vote differently and do your own one for one, so let's just keep it. Anybody else, this isn't fair, figure out it.
Scott. Rocky. Scott. 2-2.
Well, the only thing to do is put all three names on and just vote for one. That plan didn't work then, so let's just put all three in and we'll just vote for one, see where it goes. If that plan's not working, then we're obviously the devil. So let's just put all three names on, give one vote.
I don't need to put all the names in it all, they're just gonna,
With 3 names and 4 votes, if we don't have,
I'm just gonna write the names on it.
right, if we don't have a majority, the lowest vote getter gets taken off and then we vote out of the 2.
Okay, so we're just gonna write down one name now?
You're writing down one name out of the 3. The lowest vote getter will get removed and then we'll vote for the other 2 unless there's a clear majority.
I got plenty of people.
That's fine. What happens when you've been in enough district conventions for the Republican Party, you get to run these votes and stuff, you figure out how to do this stuff, I guess.
Craig. Rocky. Scott.
Craig's only got 2 votes. My opinion, you need a majority of this group. That's my opinion. Unless you guys feel differently, you can overrule me, but I guess in that situation,
I think you're right there, we should have a short.
that's the way I feel about it. That's where we were talking about the tiebreakers.
There's also other voting options we have, yes.
You know?
The other thing, is we interview them again. I hate to do that, so.
Shake dice over it, maybe? Or the candidates go back, just play 6-5-4 and see. Well, I mean, like I said, I understand that we have one candidate that's got one extra vote, but I just don't think 2 people decide their placement's right. I just don't, this is my opinion. I don't think we can use consensus, at least these 3 did, so. Anybody got any other ideas?
Yeah.
What's your idea, Dave?
My idea is should have let Marcy vote from the beginning, so there would have been 5 people. No. could start over. She's the main department head.
Well, she was supposed to represent the commissioner anyway.
Yeah, unless we just have her vote, nobody's gonna know what she voted anyway. Yeah, just write on the paper and she's supposed to vote.
Be anonymous vote, yeah.
Yeah,
Just a
Do you
thought.
want to vote?
If it's gonna help, I'll just.
Well, it will, I mean, it'll at least, because the big issue right now is we have an issue with at least we probably get 2 candidates then. That's almost guaranteed. Because either, I mean, whichever one gets the vote, it basically becomes the winner and moves to the next round, then you have another 5 votes again, so you probably come up with something, so.
And do what now?
Well, you understand what I'm saying, like, no matter where you vote, you're going to break this tie essentially. Because somebody's gonna have, you're gonna have at least 2 candidates with 2 votes, or 1 with 3, and then that would basically be the consensus. And then at least if you get 2 candidates with 2 votes, now we go to 2 candidates out of 5 votes, and you're gonna get a majority. So that's really the only way to break it today. So,
So we starting all over then, pretty much? Or are we starting with just the 2 candidates?
well, I say what we'll do now is we have 5 votes. If there's a tie, we take the top 2, or someone's gonna have a majority, and then we'll know. Is we're either gonna have 2, 2, and 1, or you're gonna have 3 and 1 and 0, so you're gonna either get 2 candidates or 1.
So you're voting for 2 candidates again?
Well, we'd be voting for all 3 because we couldn't break that tie. That's the confusing part, is we were trying to get it to 2, but we're at 2, 1, and 1, so we can't decide the other 2. So now with the extra vote, one of them people will get eliminated.
So what are we doing now?
Writing one name in, right?
Write one name?
Yeah,
One name?
one name.
That's right.
Now who's counting?
Huh?
Who's counting now? The bookkeeper? Or
well, it doesn't matter, I get there. You can just open them up.
Here.
Doesn't matter.
Rocky? One vote for Craig Miller. Another vote for Craig Miller. One vote for Scott. And another vote for Craig Miller. So that's 3, 1, and 1. Well, I guess I feel like we have a majority decision there. Is there any disagreements or any issues? I'm not hearing anything. I'll officially ask for a motion to appoint Craig Miller to the vacant District 1 spot.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Everly to appoint Craig Miller to the vacant District 1 Commissioner spot. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Holm. Is there any more discussion on the vacant District 1 position? Not hearing any, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Appointment approved. Craig? Next meeting is September 5th. And that's when you'll have the oath of office and all that stuff, right? So unless you want to come in beforehand, or we usually do the swearing in and the oath.
I'll have Joe swear him in.
Yeah, so you'll get sworn in at the first meeting, so. And you will be hereby ordained as the District 1 villain. So congratulations. Thanks to everybody else that participated, and it was quite a process, so. If no other business before the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned.